here we are, everyone. We have Alex. How you doing, Alex?
Um, wow, that was something. That was
Oh yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
It was painful at times. I think I don't think I've seen a worse total performance in a very long time from this team.
hmm
I think it was worse than Liverpool, possibly worse than Leicester,
mm,
considering the quality of the team
yeah.
was different to Leicester.
Mm,
I mean, this is a team. I mean, everyone said it. Haven't won a game at home this season, and here we are,
mm.
Dr. Tottenham, showing up medicine in hand, ready, ready to deliver the goods.
Yeah,
And we certainly did not disappoint in that regard today. It was dreadful,
yeah.
really, really bad.
What was the thing that was most dreadful? Do you think?
Um, I think the reaction. You would have really hoped that I said this about the Liverpool game that you just want to see the players come out and fight a bit,
Mm, mm,
and especially after a really devastating loss that puts us in a not it's not a horrific position after the Liverpool game, but it's out the title race.
mm,
Probably, I mean, I've been out of it for a long time, but I think most people would agree we're out of it after that game. You'd expect a bit of a fight to now really push and solidify top four, and something is going wrong. And I because we're outsiders, we don't have a lot of insights into the club. No, we don't know what's going on. We
mm.
don't know everything that goes on. I mean, we only hear what about 10% max of what goes on inside football clubs. I think at least, um, so it makes it really difficult to understand what the players are thinking and feeling, and how we as fans should feel about it. The question is it Mourinho's fault? Is it the players' fault? I have to go mixed. These players down tools for Pochettino, they will do it again. They will do it again for Mourinho.
But let's go through those players that are downing tools. I mean, who were you referring to exactly? Because Kane and Son have been playing pretty well this season, right? Lloris has been steady. He's made a few gaffes, but let's be honest. He's always sort of pretty reliable. But who's sort of downing tools? Would you say? I mean, Dyer probably one, right?
But Mourinho did drop him today, which I was very pleased to see.
Mm,
Um, well, I think a better way of looking at it is who in the squad
mm,
is actually there that we can build around. I think there are five players: Højbjerg,
yeah,
Kane, Son, Lloris, Regular, actually, well, six, and Ndombele.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Six players, right?
yeah.
And the problem is that everyone else, I think part of it is down tools because I do think they did it with Poch.
Mm,
A lot of these players just don't. Something just when things go bad, the mentality just shifts to such a low level,
mm,
a weak mentality that Josie hasn't even been able to fix, right?
mm.
And it is super worrying. It is incredibly worrying because I just think that the mentality is so weak, and also the qualities are not there. I said at the start of the season I thought we had a really good squad. I think people were saying we have a really good squad, but the squad around that core has aged so much. Even players in there,
Mm,
Kane and Son are in their prime.
mm,
But you look at players like Sissoko, who I know he's played well at times for us,
mm,
um, but he's getting old.
mm,
Alderweireld, he's getting old.
mm.
Lamella, what's he done? What has Lamella
Nothing,
done since?
nothing.
What did he do today? What did
Yeah.
Lamella
Mm,
coming on actually do today? And that's
mm.
no excuse. And for the other players, or Bergwijn, I mean, come on, he's been here a year now.
I know. Thank you
Like,
for calling Bergwijn out because I was
like,
going to say, like, why does no one dig him out? It really annoys me. Everyone digs out. I know Sim and Ben. They're always digging out Lucas Moura, but they never dig out Bergwijn. And I think, like, for me, he's totally anonymous every single game. He doesn't hurt the opposition enough. He doesn't take
where,
risks. At least Moura takes a little risk. He gives the ball away, but he's taking risks. Bergwijn is just so playing within himself. It's painful, isn't it?
Ber, I'm sorry, but what does Bergwijn doesn't contribute in terms of goals or assists? Like
Yeah,
barely,
yeah.
barely anything, right? And I think that the people with Bergwijn say, "Oh, that's fine because he defends." right?
Yeah.
He's a defensive right winger who
Yeah.
works hard and gets a
Yeah.
pat on the back at the end of the day from
Mm.
Jose Mourinho and saying, "Well done, you worked hard."
Mm.
Um, but I'm sorry, that's not.
Mm.
That's you
It's a
you've got
cop
to.
out, isn't it? It's a cop out.
And people wonder why we're
Mm.
so reliant on Kane and Son.
Mm.
And then when Kane gets injured, suddenly you need the goals.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
suddenly you need the goals from elsewhere in the team, and we didn't look whatsoever
Mm.
like we had a reliable goal scorer. And say the
Mm.
best that happened was the Vinicius chance,
Mm.
one good chance where the goalkeeper did make a good save in 90 minutes. I mean,
Mm. Mm. Poor.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Do you know what, Alex? I looked at the heat maps between Brighton and Spurs, and there's a website I went on, and it was just like all green until you got to Brighton's penalty area and just complete empty space there. For like 90 minutes. It just looked as though we were. I was just like, what is going on here? This is
Oh,
Brighton. This isn't like prime Barcelona, but I don't know. It's just. We are in a bit of a purple patch, but what do you think? Could there be a few tweaks? Is it more of a an attitude thing, an institutional thing? Is this going to be like one of those long ships which take a long time to turn around, and it's going to take a long while to kind of correct this? Or do you think a few tweaks and we could, because we've got a decent squad. I think we're saying at the beginning of the season, it's one of the best squads we've ever had. Now you're looking at it and going, wow, this squad looks really threadbare, but I think the players are there, but I just don't think we're seeing the best out of these players. What do you take? What's your opinion on all that?
um, I don't know if people will like my opinion. I
Don't
think
know. I
that
want to hear it, man. I want to hear
I think
it. Give
that
it to me.
I think it is very rare for when things go badly, and interestingly enough, there are a couple of managers recently that do buck the trend of this. Um, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Arteta for one. That when things go bad, it's very hard historically for managers to turn it around. I think is the general trend. And if anyone can do it, yeah, Mourinho, he is a great manager. But the problem is, I think there's the accusation that Mourinho is an outdated manager, right? And that I'm not sure that refers to tactics and to I think the way we set up the team that people were praising that through it back only a couple of games ago. I mean, it was against Sheffield, I think it was, and how adventurous it was, and actually it allowed the wing backs to get forward, and so I don't complain actually about the tactics of Mourinho, because I think there is an art to defending, something that he can actually add to Tottenham with, and I think that's fine. The thing which I find of him, and I think nothing epitomizes it more than the Dele Alli situation, right, is that between his early years of management and when he arrived at Man United, I think there was a change in how players act and their management, and how they are now the centre of attention, if that makes sense. Where I don't think when Mourinho started off management, and even I think Real Madrid was the transition period then. But I think 08, 09, even 010, it was still the player power wasn't there as much. I feel, and I feel that he's lost that touch of man management, and that's a lot of what football is nowadays, man management. And so I think I don't know if we're going to see the best out of Mourinho as a coach at his time with Tottenham, and for his time with Tottenham, and that makes me really sad to see, because I do think he's a great manager, but you can't lose six, or you can't not win 6 out of 8 games. Only win 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's really not good, and this is sackable form, in my opinion. For a club that needs to be going for top 4, if teams around us were doing better, we'd be way out of the top 4
I know.
race.
I know.
Even now, it's looking difficult.
How much patience do you think Levy's gonna have with Mourinho? Do you think because it's Mourinho, do you think he's won at every other club he's been to, that maybe Levy will think, hang on a minute, the common denominator here must be me, or do you think he'll say, no, actually Levy isn't performing as well as he has to, and do you think he'll do you think his fingers are quivering over the trigger, or do you think he's going to allow Mourinho a bit longer?
Past few years, I've blamed Daniel Levy for a lot of things. Not investing in the squad for an entire calendar year, I think, was absolutely horrific. I think that lots of stuff has gone wrong. But I'm sorry, who complained about the summer transfer window? Who complained when we were playing well, beating Man United 6-1 to start the season, and it looked like we were raring to go? Who complained when we brought Bale in? I know it hasn't worked out as of yet, and it's not looking great, that signing. I don't think you can criticise Daniel Levy. I think I was very against bringing Mourinho in at first, but I saw the logic in it. I think emotionally, I was we were all very attached to Pochettino, what he did for the club. But I did see the logic in it. Maybe for me, I didn't really feel it was the right step forward for the club, but I can understand it. But in terms of if he's gonna pull the trigger, no chance. Absolutely no chance. He's on 15 million a year. And I don't know how long he's got left of his contract, but and look who's available right now. There's no one available of note that will, it's Jose Mourinho at the end of the day. It's Jose Mourinho.
That's the problem, isn't it? He's almost untouchable now. He's almost like the Godfather, isn't he? He's Don Corleone. You can't. It's like you can't remove him.
You know what? And it's difficult because I love Tottenham. I love our club, but it is kind of like, in my view, Benitez going to Newcastle, if that makes sense, and how he's such an aura and outshines the club, in everything he's won and everything, that it does make it very difficult to actually sack him. And I don't think we should sack him. I don't think we should, because I think you should give him the whole season.
Absolutely.
See what happens. I think anyone calling for him to Josie out is so
it's too knee-jerk, so reactionary.
We beat Chelsea, and it's Jose masterclass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think you've got to give it to the end of the season. Just I always say, just like hope for the best, but consider the worst, and just stay hopeful, stay positive, and just support the team, support the club. Support Jose. But at the end of the season, you've really got to reflect on it and look at it and review it.
Absolutely,
that's how
absolutely.
I would say it. Yeah.
Because if we win the Carabao Cup, I think I know it's a League Cup at the end of the day, but who are we to snub a trophy, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the position does need to be looked at the end of the season. Whether the inconsistencies we've shown over a year now are going to reflect Tottenham going forward, because we can't be this inconsistent. I mean, come on, the amount of low points we've had, like losing to Sheffield just after the Project Restart, that was a massive low point where we're out of the top four, when really we should have been gunning for that.
Yeah,
I think people really forget that, actually. I mean, the constant 1-1s and late conceding late on, it's like there's so many things that are little red flags coming up in my head about Jose's time at Spurs. And the only two things keeping me sort of hoping and, as you said, wishing for the best, is that we had a great run at the start of the season, and who the manager is and what he's won.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm a big Mourinho skeptic, not Mourinho hater, but I'm very skeptic of him at the club. I called him a poison when he first came to Tottenham. I think I thought he poisoned clubs like he did at Man United.
Yeah.
And it makes me worried, especially the Dele Alli situation. I'm really concerned at.
I think that as well. Yeah. Not the fact he's not playing him either. It's just the communication with him is just terrible.
And it gives off a terrible look. How can you not actually give him a game, considering where the squad is at right now, and how we aren't firing whatsoever? We can't pass the ball, essentially. It's terrible. I don't know how you can't say to Dele, like, I know he's maybe at Chelsea he'll get a bigger involvement. I know that there is a chance this transfer, his loan, if he really pushes, could go through tomorrow, but I think there is a lot of doubt for that. So maybe that's why I didn't play. But you've got to start involving him. And oh my goodness, all my family apart from me are Chelsea fans, and they're all saying see you Thursday, like that.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for that.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Watching it from behind the sofa, I think.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, behind the cushion. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's not good. But Alex, listen, mate, I could talk to you all day, but unfortunately, we've gone over time. Then I don't know. I don't know how to finish this off. I mean, yeah, it's not. I mean, I've shared the same concerns of you. I mean, I did a debate with Sim when I talked about how I don't think it's going to work out, and I was public enemy number one in the comments section. But all that is starting to come true. What I said there, I did say that it would go stale, and he'd probably get sacked within 18 months of that video that I did. But I hope that I'm wrong. And I hope that we can see this sort of form that we showed at the beginning of the season. That could happen, couldn't it?
There is nothing more I'd love than to be wrong about him.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
I'd love to be wrong, but
Yeah.
it's just so
It's stale.
worrying.
It's stale, isn't it? It's all a bit stale.
Yeah, and it's not just Mourinho. The players have to take a responsibility as well.
Yeah.
There's no it's not just one or the other. Gareth Bale, step up, man. Like, you've come back to the club. You said you wanted to play like you mean it.
Yeah.
You're the most experienced person in that squad. Come on. There are others. There are so many others that need to step up.
And, yeah. I mean, there's
what cheery note.
Yeah, there's so much surgery that needs to be done. What can we say? I don't know. We're 4 days away from Friday. I don't know. I don't even know what day we're on, to be honest with you, with lockdown. But anyway, all right, Alex, we'll leave it there, mate. Hopefully we'll get to chat to you again, and hopefully we can chat on a more of a positive note. So
hope so too. Thanks so much for having me on.
Okay, no worries, mate. Speak to you soon. Cheers, mate.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.